we like to use something that other people don't like to use, which is waste, and we like to make something out of it that has value. And it's all based around carbon. So we're changing a carbon form that's not so much wanted into something that people like. So in our lab, we use carbon and we use microbes at the same time. So we have bioreactors where microbes grow in, and then we change the carbon. And part of that carbon also belongs CO2. So CO2 is a waste product, but you can actually make something out of CO2 at the same time. So we have a project, for instance, that we convert CO2 into protein, something that we can eat. So something was first maybe in air, we can convert it with microbes in bioreactors to something we can eat. So then we had a waste product and we're making value out of it. When I was young, people first started talking about the environment. I decided to study environmental science with the idea to do something, to change something, to make something better for us. And that's what I'm still doing in a sense. Maybe it has evolved a little, the topics have changed, but now we're studying more this protein production. So it's always been, the back in your mind is how can we improve our environment, how can we become more sustainable? Of course, the problems are bigger, but maybe that should give you more motivation to be able to do something, but it's also frustrating because we are not moving as a society fast enough into the right direction. So a single person with a single knowledge cannot change the world. The problems are too complex, the solutions are also too complex, right? So you have to work as a team. In this lab, everybody has to work as a team. You cannot do this work by yourself. We are very interdisciplinary. So we have people who do bioprocess engineering, we have microbiologists, we have people who like genetic modification, and they have to work together. So that's very, very important that people are not competitive, but actually work in a team. We actually have still a lot of young talent. There's always a certain group of people who want to help the environment, who are into nature, who want to work on this area. My job, I'm a professor, so I need to teach people, I need to bring the best out of people, I need to be innovative. So I need to think about things that maybe at this point we cannot start using, but in the future there's a need for it. I was a full professor at Cornell. Part of that process of moving from the US to Germany, together with my wife and myself, was the Humboldt professorship. So the Humboldt budget gave me an opportunity to do something new. And I was working with a postdoc at the time called Bastian Molitor, and we decided that we wanted to tackle a problem that people had been working on for the last 30 years, which was the genetic modification of a certain type of methanogen. And this methanogen is used industrially, but nobody has ever developed a genetic system for it, and we got it done. So after 4 years of PhD, we had a genetic system, and I think that was an example of how the Humboldt Foundation was really helped, because if we had written a proposal to a normal DFG, we would have not gotten that funded, because people would have told us, people have been trying this for 30 years, why would it work now? So we were allowed and be able to take out a risky project, and we were successful in the end. Of course, if you can do great basic science in the lab, that is very valuable, and you're training students. Of course, if you want to say to transform society, I can translate. So I made a finding, I made an observation or an innovation, and then I bring that out by doing a startup. And then transfer the technology that we observed in the lab or that we found in the lab into the real world. So I like to go home and maybe I work a little bit in my garden. I even have a visa. So a visa changes every year. So this is also a project that takes a long time. It may take many, many years to get a garden to grow and the plants to grow in a way that you want it, that you get a nice colorful palette. And this takes time. So you have to have patience in the garden, and this is the same thing with research. It's a very slow process and you need to have a lot of patience for that, which I have.